Is at this point. What do you feel like you're good at, get better at? What do you feel like you feel the team is?
I think we do a good job of playing together. I think this team really understands how to play together. Obviously, offensively, we're much better than we were last year because of our understanding of the offense, and so I think we have a much better understanding of the offense as well. Defensively, I don't think we're where we need to be defensively. We're not as good as we were last year. That could be a cohesiveness, and then also just a want to at times too. And so it's a good balance. It's a good balance. We're not the worst defensive team, but in terms of I think our standards and who we want to be, at least for me as a coach, who I'd like for us to be, we've got to be able to be a team that can defend at a high level, because everybody knows offensively there's going to be times where you're just not on it. You're not making shots, and that happens, and that's fine. And so I'd like for us to be better on that end of the ball.
So I got to ask you, how you feel you are in this part of your coaching career?
Yeah.
As the head coach, where you think you're doing, well, you can do good, you're doing great, but you can do better at another ways.
That's a good question. I think at times when we're not, when we're a little bit stagnant and different things like that, and we're not on both ends of the floor, when it's not clicking, we do a better job of maybe just like switching things up and going to something different to see if we can snap out of it. Like, we could probably do a better job of doing that quicker, rather than wait and seeing if we get out of it quicker. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. You always talk about trusting the players.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I heard you press conference say, I should have jumped on that a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
How do you determine that line? How do you determine that that in between of trusting the players, getting out of the situation, and you having to step in and take it?
I just think it's a feel. I think some of the best coaches, what they're really good is their instincts are really good. Their instincts kick in at times like that. And I'm still young, so I'm still making mistakes and I'm still learning. I don't by any means think that I know everything or think that I've been, the best by any means. So I think the more opportunity that I have to continue to coach, the more instinctual I'll get at those times. It's just not an instinct. It's just not instinctual yet. That may take me 5 years, 6 years. It may take a long time to get into that at this position. You know what I mean? And so, still learning. And I think once it becomes more instinctual, I'll know times to jump in and times to continue to trust.
Last question, Coach. At this point, what's the ceiling for this team this season? I don't want to put that like you could. I know as a person covering and as a fan as well, we got a bench, we're long, we got length. There's a lot of great things about this team. What do you feel like this team still needs?
Yeah, I think all those things. We went into the season believing that we'd have a really strong, that we had a really strong core group, and that we could put people around them to help them be successful. And then we went into the season also with the thought process of that we needed to have a strong bench as well, a strong bench. So I think overall we did that. And now the difference between this team and really the top tier teams that you see in the league is we just don't have the experience of playing together as much as those other teams do. The Collins, the Vegas, right? Even the Washingtons. New York doesn't, in terms of their core group, they don't have experience together, but all of them have been in playoff situations, final situations, so they have a ton of experience, which is what we lack right now. We just lack that experience. So I think we have to continue to focus on getting better in certain areas and allowing that to spurn us until we have years under our belt where our core group is together and we have tons of playoff experience, so we'll know this and that, and however which way things are shaking, which way to go, if that makes sense. So that's just where we're lacking right now. So, and that's a time thing. That's a time thing. So, but I'm happy with where we are overall in our second year with our core group, and the idea that we're getting better and better. We're better this year than we were last year, and so I'm happy with our continued growth right now.
I like what I want to talk about Rhyne, talk about accolades that she is.
Yeah.
How important as a coach that you allow her to grow into that role as a star player in the league and help nurture that? You know, she's still young, but she still want to make
absolutely.
sure.
There's a fine line in it, right? I just had this conversation with my coach the other day. There's a fine line with allowing her to grow and to make mistakes, understanding that she's your cornerstone, she's your franchise player, without still having the standards and coaching her hard, but also allowing her that room to be that as well. There's always going to be a fine line between that, but the one thing that's special about Rhyne is she considers herself one of the back. You know what I mean? She's not out there acting like you know what I mean? I'm this and I'm above all. Like, she's one of the pack. So we're able to coach her the way that we need to coach her. And we're able to encourage her and push her the way that we need to because of her response and how she's a part of this thing as a whole.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.